Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello. Let me get this. Good morning, my happier by the minute people, everyone that wants to be happier by the minute. I'm super excited that you're here. Thank you for showing up. It means that I'm here, and if I'm here, I'm learning as well. So if you show up, I show up. Thank you so much. Good morning, Deshawn from Virginia. Hi, everybody. Joy, you always make me happy just hearing your name. Kelly, Dawn, who's actually my dad, make sure I always have at least one person watching. Teresa, Karen, Catherine, Leah, Danella. Hi, Danella. Everybody, my friend Danella has a little bug. She's a little bit sick, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. And so I want everybody to take 1 second and just think of Danella and send her lots of healthier warrior cells that are going to beat those bad cells in her body. And I know, and so it is. And so all that extra juice for her is going to be really helpful. Thank you. Hi, Angie. Hi, Robin. Hi, Dr. Woods, Infinity Awakening. Hi, John. Gosh, so many people. Thank you so much for showing up, everybody. I'm super excited. As always, I have a ton of information for you. And this is number 21. My gosh, there are 20 other ones. Tenica, Cliff, hi, everybody. There are 20 ones before this. So if you are just joining us for the first time, there is so much good information. And if you want to see all the ones before, just go to Happier by the Minute, and then you can subscribe to the Happy Huddle. It is completely free, and then you have access to all the previous ones. But let's get going. If you're searching for that one person that will change your life, because I know we're always searching, take a look in the mirror, my friends, because that's where you're going to find it. That's where we're going to find it today and every day. So I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about yourself? What are the first words that come to your mind? Hopefully they're good ones, but most of the time they're not. So this is really great. Nathaniel Branden is one of the leading forefathers on this subject. And he says, of all the judgments we pass in life about everything, everywhere, none is more important than the judgment we pass on ourselves. That judgment impacts every moment and every aspect of our existence. Our self-evaluation is the basic context in which we act and react, choose our values, set our goals, meet the challenges that confront us. Our responses to events are shaped in part by whom and what we think we are. It is the root of all of our problems, but it is also the root of all our happiness. All right, so let's look at the root. That is self-esteem. Self-esteem, my friends, I know it's talked about. There's a ton of books on it. There's a ton of information, and we're taught a little bit about it, certainly not taught it in school. But what does it really mean? And how do we make it better? How do we build it if it really is so important that it affects everything that we do? And think about it, everything that we do, every choice we make, from what we eat, to who we hang out with, to what we read, to what we say to ourselves in our heads over and over. I love to go to the definition to start with. So self-esteem is the confidence in one's own worth or abilities and self-respect. So this is another really great definition because there's two parts to it. Self-efficacy, which is the confidence in our ability to think and learn and choose and make appropriate decisions. And I think that self-efficacy is our confidence in that we will be successful. And this confidence, I heard this, I can't remember what podcast I heard it on, but it was so good. And he said, confidence is earned. This is the part of the self-esteem that is earned, that you aren't just born with it. You have to overcome challenges, and you have to work hard, and you have to get through the hard things and find success and see success. That self-esteem is earned. But there is a second part. There's the self-esteem that we are born with, that it's the self-respect and the confidence that it is our right to be happy. It is our belief that achieving success and friendship, and respect. Oops, my microphone's not working. Okay, well, hopefully you can hear me. That self-respect, that confidence, we are born with. We are born. We are born that it is our right to be loved and fulfilled, and that we are allowed to have all that stuff. And it is, we are worthy. And you hear that one a lot. I am worthy. It is the I am good enough, and I am born good enough. Okay? And you know what? We are born believing that we're good enough. When we come out as babies, we want everybody to look at us. We don't sit there and, no babies turn away and go, oh, I'm having a bad hair day. And oh God, I got a little food on my lip here. A little bit before that. But no, they don't care. They'll throw up and then laugh and smile and say, look at me. It is all good. So they're not ashamed of anything. They are confident in themselves. And we start to get chipped away at that. And we got to find it back, which is why you're here. And I'm so glad that you're here. And every week we learn a little bit more to build it back up. So the survival value of confidence is obvious. So is the danger when it is missing. So what happens when we don't have self-confidence? These are pretty obvious, but I'm going to remind you in case you're in them. We tolerate abusive situations and relationships. Do you allow people to treat you like crap? Well, maybe it's your self-esteem. We're influenced by desire to avoid pain and not go after challenges. We confine ourselves to the familiar and undemanding, and we don't want to push ourselves out of our comfort zone because we don't think we can, or we don't think we're worthy. We have self-defeating or self-destructive behavior and thoughts. We focus on being in control and being self-absorbed as opposed to just believing that we can do it. Our thinking narrows. This is the negativity bias I've talked about before. Our thinking narrows and our self-care deteriorates and our resilience weakens. Our actions tend to be automatic and reactive and impulse driven. And you're going to find people who have a lot of anger are usually people who have really low self-esteem. It doesn't mean that you need to be around them. I had a friend really early on who really treated me pretty badly. And my parents used to say, oh, she just doesn't feel good about herself. And I think back on that and I wish they had said, you know what, she's just a jerk, stay away from her. But I get it. But, my qualities in me that I want to take care of people and help them be better. I hung around hoping to make her be better. And that just doesn't work. We can't change other people. We can support them if they're ready and if they're willing, but we can't change other people. So really just stay away from those people that are automatic and impulse driven. We fall short of our potential. And of course, we have the tendency to become depressed. Or sad or angry, all of those things. So if you're feeling or you're noticing any of those in your life, it might be self-esteem driven. And of course, our self-esteem comes from a lot of stuff in our history. And I've talked about that in our earlier huddles. But what I really want to focus on is not how you got there, but what do we do about it? So again, Nathaniel Branden, who is one of the leaders in this field and has written a lot of great books about self-esteem, he has the 6 pillars of self-esteem. So these are the things that just notice whether you have them, whether you're doing them. Number 1, live consciously. And of course, one of my favorite words is mindful. Are you present? And what are we doing? And a lot of that, again, one of my favorite words you hear over and over again is self-awareness. If you're here, I know you have self-awareness. And then it's taking it out into the hours beyond and listening to that mind chatter. Number 2, self-acceptance, being kind, owning your experience without denial or disowning. Again, when you have self-awareness, you can have self-acceptance and say, yeah, that wasn't really cool what I did. Yeah, I'm not really sure that felt really good to that other person. And you don't need to deny it, and you don't need to beat yourself up about it. Have compassion. Talk to yourself like you would your best friend, and accept it. Radical acceptance. I've used that one before too. Self-responsibility. We are the author of our choices and actions. You know that. If you've been hanging out with me long enough, you know, I will tell you, you are not a victim. Even your thoughts, even your anger, even what you're hanging on to from the past, whatever you are just sad and angry about, they're all choices. They're all choices. Oh, and that's a little note to self. Watch number 3, the huddle number 3. We talk a lot about that on mindset. So you can always go back if you subscribe on the website and watch number 3 on mindset. Remember, these are only half an hour. Let's get in, get out, learn something new. And if you can come every Friday, you're making it consistent. Number 5. Oh, wait, I didn't do number 4. Self-assertiveness. Live our values in the world. Be a good person. You know what that is. You know it's about being kind. It's not about being perfect. I don't expect perfection from you or from me. It is just about knowing who you want to be. I'm working with somebody at work right now who struggles with being really reactive. And, you know, our conversations are about, is that who you want to be? You can say that's who you've always been, but is that who you want to be going forward? You don't have to be. Number 5, live purposefully. Take responsibility for identifying your goals and take action. Oh gosh, I need another Post-it note because there's a whole huddle on action. I think it's number 4 or 5. And it's so good. It's one of my favorite ones because action is, it sounds simple, but it's not easy. Number 6, the 6th pillar is personal integrity. Have the principles of behavior and remain loyal to that action and keep it up. Honor your commitments. Be that person that you want to be, okay? So again, I'm kind of racing through them, but you can write them down. You can go back to them because I got a lot in here. So again, now we know what the 6 pillars are. We know what they can cause if we don't have them. Let us talk about what we do about raising the self-esteem. These are the tips. These are the tools. Growing Ourselves Up, A Guide to Recovery by Stanley Gross is where I picked these up. And he said, practice self-care. Obviously, we know this. I do a whole huddle on the morning routine, and that is a way to start your day with your self-care. Know what you want out of your day. Don't wake up 10 years from now and say, how did I get here? Wake up 10 years from now and go, I intentionally got here. I set my path. I knew where I was going, and I made it happen. It's totally possible. Totally possible. I've done it in my life, and you too. You also can. Identify the triggers of low self-esteem. So we personalize stressful events by criticizing ourselves, and we interfere by interfering a negative meaning about ourselves. Sorry, not interfering, inferring. See, I'm not perfect. It's okay. And I'm not going to have a negative meaning about this, okay? Anyway, so identify the triggers about what are those things that cause you where you go, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. No. Don't infer a negative meaning. Don't personalize. Slow down personalizing. Target personalizing to slow impulsive responses. You can begin to interfere with these automatic overreactions by using relaxation, meditation, 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 meditation. I talk about it all the time, even if it's only 10 minutes a day. It's going to teach you to slow down, be more aware. And stress management techniques. I've talked about having a rubber band on your wrist. There's all kinds of techniques. Think in shades of gray and learn to reframe the meanings. And it was huddle number 14 that we talked about thinking traps, because a lot of times our thinking traps are what impact our self-esteem, okay? So there's a ton of tools out there. A lot of them are just about knowing them and practicing. When we know better, we do better, and it takes practice. Okay, there is stop and take notice. Again, have the self-awareness, know what's happening, pay attention to the familiarity of the impulse. How often do you just quickly respond? When you're, if your partner is somebody that's super annoying to you right now and everything they do is bugging you and you are super impulsive and to roll your eyes and sigh and tell other people how annoying they are, that impulse is becoming familiar. You do not want that. Our tendency is to overreact in the same way to the same incident. And remember, we can't always change what other people are doing. We can't change those external events. We can only change our response to them. So let's practice what our response is. Interrupt that auto response. And I talk a lot about that pause between the stimulus, that annoying boss, that annoying partner, that annoying traffic, that annoying person that just cut you off, the pause before the reaction and saying, okay, I can react differently. I can choose to react differently. I can choose my thought. And knowing what your replacement thought is before you get out there, build your raft before you get into the storm is so important. If you know you're going to get in traffic, if you know you're running late, what is your replacement thought before you get out there? I was playing miniature golf with my son the other day, and as some of you know, he has special needs, and so he gets very, very frustrated quickly when he isn't good at something immediately. And oh my God, he loves miniature golf, which is absolutely the hardest thing for anybody, none of us, even that's typically developing people. Miniature golf is hard for us. And he started to get super frustrated, and I had to just stop him and say, what are you going to do if you can't get it in this time? And what are you going to do if you do get it in? But he had to have that tool of what are you going to do? And he said, I'll breathe. I'll just fall to the ground. I won't hit the club. I won't throw the ball. I won't scream, but I'll just fall to the ground. I said, that's okay. You can fall to the ground, and then we'll get back up and we'll try it again. I said, do you want to do a yoga pose? Do you want to just breathe? And he did his exercises, and then he'd get it in, which of course is tough because then, but then I would remind him, look, when you're calm or when you're in control, when you know what to do, if it doesn't go in, you're more prepared and your automatic response isn't that of frustration. So anyway, we practice this all day, every day. Okay, I went off. Affirmations. Neuroplasticity, we just talked about that in the last huddle. Neuroplasticity, which is, and I taught neuroscience for the rest of us, is about the grooves and the connectivity and the neural pathways that we have in our brain that we have created with saying the same things over and over again. Our self-esteem is completely reflective of what we keep telling ourselves over and over and over again. And so we want affirmations. Negative thinking decreases our confidence and affects our mood in general, and it's that constant repetition that we gradually convince ourselves, we become less confident. But the good news is that constant repetition of negative things we can flip, and we can use it to our advantage, and we can say positive things over and over again and build up our self-esteem. I talk about this a lot. Affirmations are mental vitamins, providing supplements of positive thoughts that we need to balance the barrage of negative events and thoughts. And by the way, by barrage, I mean news. And I tell you, take a break from the news, and I know you want to tell me, but I got to know what's going on. And I'm going to say, do you really need to know what's going on? Because there is research that says it's going to make your day worse. It is going to impact the way that you think. It is going to impact the way that you see things. It puts a negative fog and negative glasses on. So I'm going to keep reminding you. This is a quick little video that I really liked and wanted to share with you.
Your brain is like a circuit switch. Once you believe you are something, you actually embody it. You embody that feeling. If you were, God forbid, in a coma, and you woke up and you didn't really have a memory, and you were told that you used to be a Navy SEAL, and they want you back now when you're healthy, do you think you'd act differently and hold yourself differently, conduct yourself different, and have a different self-concept of who you are than if you were told you were a piano instructor? Being successful in life is all about having the proper belief system in who you are. Truly believing that you are something unique, that you are something special in that field. If you truly believe inside of you that you are one of the best actors in the world, you will be entirely different than if you're like, I hope I'm good. Your expressions will be totally different. Your tone of voice. You'll talk in a more convincing fashion. You'll use your natural voice instead of a scripted one. You'll be more emphatic. You'll be more real, more relatable. Our brain is like a circuit. And so if we introduce it with the proper wiring, you're going to go straight to your target. If you're unsure about who you are, then your dreams, your goals, they will never become a reality. Everyone has mental doubts in life, internal conflicts. Even the most successful people that you look up to. But they don't live there. It's how you handle those negative thoughts in that exact moment and overwhelm them with positive action. And that comes with this utmost confidence in yourself that you can handle the situation. Trust in yourself that you are better than the moment.
Trust in yourself that you are better than the moment. So some of that self-esteem is what you were born with, and some of it is what you have earned. All right. Now, I like to practice because I can tell you all this stuff. I can tell it to you over and over again, but I really want you to experience the practice. So this is a challenge for 1 minute. I'm going to get my timer. There's a lady, Marissa Peer, and she does hypnosis, and she's one of the leading hypnotherapists in the world, I would say. And she has worked with a lot of famous people and a lot of everyday people. And she always comes back to the people that it is their belief that they are not enough. And so really she's changed so many people's lives just by getting them to repeat the sentence, I am enough, 100 times a day. So right now I'm looking at my clock because I'm going to put on a timer, and for 1 minute, we are going to just say to ourselves, and if you can do it in a mirror, all the better, but I'm going to tell you right now, for 1 minute, it might seem like an eternity, you're just going to repeat over and over and over again, I am enough. Okay? Are you ready? I am enough. You can do it out loud. You can do it in your head. I am enough. I am enough. That was a minute. Did it seem like eternity? How did that feel? Do you want it to be longer? You can type in the chat box and tell me, was that hard? Was that easy? Did it feel comfortable? Is that how you want to start your days? Can you look in the mirror today and say 100 times, I am enough? Can you write it on your shower wall? Can you write it on your bathroom mirror? Can you write it on your rearview mirror of your car? Do it with a Sharpie. I am enough. Can you do that? I am enough. Because it is so valuable. It is so valuable. So let me know. Now, I love affirmations. And so I have 2 pages of affirmations for you, just in case you can't think of any other ones. And people will say, well, I don't really know what to say to myself. So again, here they are. Here's a whole bunch of them. If you can't read them right now, you can go to Happier by the Minute, subscribe to the Huddle. It's free. And you can go back and get these. But also, you can just Google affirmations for self-esteem, and there's going to be a million of them. So this is a great way, or you can do these, but I'm going to read you just a couple of them. And I want you to read them to yourself or hear them. Hear these about you. I am the architect of my life. I accept and love myself just the way I am. I am supported and loved by God or creator, universe, fill in the blank. I'm surrounded by abundance. I am healthy. I'm energetic. I'm optimistic. I can achieve success and greatness. Everything happens for a reason. Everything leads to something positive. Everything always works out for me. I'm able to conquer all the challenges. I am becoming more confident and stronger and happier every day. My potential to succeed is infinite. I love myself and feel great about myself. I accept myself unconditionally. I radiate confidence. I make a difference in the world. I spread happiness. I am bold and courageous. I face difficulty with courage. I am patient. I am grateful. Oh God, go back and find my many of huddles about gratitude. That will change your life today if you add gratitude. And of course, I am worthy. I am enough. I am enough. I am worthy of happiness and love. What you think of yourself is much more important than what people think of you. And I know I spend a lot of time worrying about what people think of me and what I'm wearing compared to them, and if I'm skinnier or fatter, or what I say dumb stuff and I make mistakes. But really, every time you start judging and comparing yourself against somebody else, say, it is way more valuable that I spend this time, this thought, this brain space on what I think about myself than what they think about me or what I think of myself compared to them. Can you just do that one thing? If you just take away one thing today, that's it. Every time you start to compare yourself to somebody else, go, stop, screech. That time, that brain space is so valuable. I am not going to waste it on comparing myself to somebody else or worrying what they think of me. I am going to do affirmations for 30 seconds. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. And this is a great quote, last one, that you have probably seen by Marianne Williamson. And this is so beautiful. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God or the universe, whatever you want to say. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all, you, meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God, of the universe that is within us. It's not just in some of us. It is in everyone. I have chills reading this because I'm thinking about all of you. It is in every one of you. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. You are meant to be. You are born to be great. You are born to be worthy. You are born. You are born enough, and you are amazing. And I am so grateful that you are here with me and that you give me this half hour of your super valuable time, because I know it's all precious. And I'm so happy that you are using this time to build your positivity skills and your happiness. I cannot tell you how much I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Please email me, text me, send me things on Instagram and tell me what you took away today, and share it with other people, because every little bit we do, we're spreading seeds of happiness. And isn't that awesome? All right, everybody, have a great day. Thanks. Mwah.